Hey folks, Randy here with Dolan Cut and Trim. So today we've got a type of video that I've never done before and I'm really excited about, and that is going to be comparing two products. I've got the Stihl BG50, which has been my go-to blower during the lawn care season for the last, I would say, 4 years. And this year, well, end of last year, beginning of this year, Echo started releasing the DPB-2500 brushless battery-powered handheld blower. I reached out to Echo and said, hey, I got a feeling this blower would be good enough to do the kind of work I do. I mostly service smaller properties like a 1/6 to 1/4 of an acre, and there's not a whole lot of blowing off that needs to happen, so I got a feeling this bad boy could be perfect for that. And so Echo responded back, said, hey, we'd love to see what you think, and they sent this to me. Now it is important to keep in mind that Echo supplied me with this product and asked me to provide honest and unbiased feedback on it. This is not a sponsored video, so no money was offered for this review. So the first thing I wanted to go over is my experience with both machines. I've been using Stihl BG50s, I believe, since either 2017 or 2018. This is my third BG50 over that time period. And the reason I like this machine is it is a massive fuel savings over using a backpack blower. I estimated somewhere between $125 to $175 that I save every year by using this blower instead of a traditional backpack blower, which essentially makes it a free machine. With the money I save on gas, I'm able to replace this every year. However, if I wanted to get even more fuel savings, this is a battery powered machine. So I was very interested to see how this works. So I got this in the literally mid-June, and used it exclusively through the end of June and through almost the entire month of July. Switching back over to the BG50 for the last 3 days just to kind of get a refresher after having used both. So my experience is right around 3,000 yards with the BG50 and probably right around 200 yards with the Echo blower. So that being said, I noticed some differences right away. So the big thing that I really liked about the Echo is that anyone can use it. It's a cold start. That's all you gotta do. You literally just pull the trigger. You actually have to be kind of careful. I had this in the back of the truck, and the trigger lock actually got kind of pressed down a little bit, and so it was just kind of running like that in the back of my truck. It has actually pretty impressive numbers. It's got a 500 CFM and right around 500 CFM and right around 160 miles per hour. But there are some caveats on that. For the way I use it, there's a turbo, so you can go full power, and then you can go full power with turbo. And so I think that 500 CFM and 160 miles per hour is probably with the turbo engaged. With the BG50, you've got 400 CFM but 200 miles per hour at the nozzle. So there's a big difference there. So the Echo is going to push a lot more, where the Stihl is going to push less, but it's going to push it faster. And I actually noticed there's a massive difference in the size of the blower tube. So if you take this off, you actually see the Stihl literally fits all the way inside there. And so I think that's one of the reasons why it gets the much higher miles per hour, but much fewer CFM. When there's that much of a difference in CFM, that makes this machine, I imagine, much better during leaf season as far as power, because you can take this off and you'll be blowing a whole lot of air. You'll be able to move a lot of leaves at one time. Where with this machine, I can tell you, not that great for leaves because it's only blowing just a little bit of air at once. Now, as far as maneuverability goes, the thing I noticed is with the Stihl, it's very easy. I can do this with my wrists, very easy. The Echo, it's not as easy. And I think that's because the weight is distributed over a bigger area. You know, with the Stihl, all the weight is directly under your wrist, where with the Echo, there's weight over here, there's weight back here, so there's like a momentum thing happening. So it's a little bit less maneuverable. So an important feature about the Echo versus the Stihl, like I said, fuel savings is a big deal for me. So for the Stihl, I can generally do 15 to 20 yards before I've got to refuel this. Again, I'm working on smaller properties. With the Echo, using a 2.5 amp hour battery, you can generally get 10 to 12 yards cleared off and still have like 1 bar left. So basically a 5 amp hours is what you're going to need if you're doing like 20 yards in a day like I'm typically doing. It's not a big deal. I thought actually about buying a 5 amp hour battery and putting it on the Echo, but the truth is that adds a lot of weight to this machine and kind of decreases the maneuverability of it. So it's better to have 2.5 amp hour batteries if you're planning on using this commercially. So what are the big benefits of using the Echo blower? Well, the big thing is you're not spending money on gas. You're not spending money on fuel mix. You're not spending, and so it doesn't really matter what gas prices do. This doesn't use gas. You can just plug it in. And actually, for my setup, I actually have a solar power setup in my truck, and I charge the batteries off of that. So I'm literally, fuel for my battery powered equipment costs me nothing because it's just getting powered by the sun. The Echo, despite my complaints about how the weight is distributed, the Echo does feel lighter in the hand. The Stihl feels noticeably heavier, and so that's nicer when you're getting down to yard number 18, 19, 20. You can start to feel those ounces matter. And then the Echo, while I haven't had an opportunity to use it on leaves, I have had the opportunity to use it on dirt. And I can tell, like I've got some customers, I don't know where the sand comes from, but sand kind of washes onto their sidewalks. You want to blow it off. The Echo does a significantly better job of clearing sidewalks of sand and other, it clears volume faster and better. Where the Stihl, you'll be there all day because the Stihl's got a very small path that air is flowing down, where the Echo has a demonstrably bigger one. Now I will say the benefits of having the Stihl gas powered is that the higher mile per hour really does matter when you're mowing lawns. Significant difference in miles per hour is really noticeable when you're blowing off sidewalks and getting grass away from where it needs to be, because you don't really need to have this massive. You don't need to blow a lot of area at once. You can just focus on what you're blowing on, and the Stihl does a really good job of doing that. Like I said, the Stihl is much more maneuverable. It's much easier to turn than the Echo. And then the other thing that's really nice about the Stihl versus the Echo, and this is just an issue with battery powered products in general, is gas can be topped off on the Stihl in the field. So if I notice gas is getting low and I'm not sure I'm going to have enough to blow off the property I'm on, I can just fill it back up. Where with the Echo, once you're down to 1 bar on the battery, you're really kind of taking things into your own hands that you might run out of juice in the middle of blowing a property off. And so the only thing you can really do at that point is to take the old battery out, put a new one in, and put this one on the charger. But for the most part, you're not really able to, there's no way to top off anything. And then I haven't really been able to look into this that much, but what I can say is that the Stihl is definitely repairable. I've had to fix things on it many times, and I don't know about the Echo. I don't know that repair parts are going to be available. I was thinking about it. I'm not sure that there's all that much going on in here. You know, which actually might be a pro for why this is repairable. You know, the Stihl, there's a lot going on. I mean, it's a gas engine. It's a two-stroke engine, so there's a lot that can go wrong. There's a lot going on, but you know, with the Echo, you know, there's a blower motor. There's some kind of electronics to control getting power from the battery to there, and you know, the trigger mechanism. But there really shouldn't be that much going on in there. So while I know for a fact the Stihl is repairable, repairing the Echo DPB-2500, I don't know. So is the Echo ready for commercial use? Yes. It would definitely be on the lower end of blower products. Like I said, I'm comparing it to the Stihl BG50. This is about as low end of a machine as you would want to use in a commercial setting. A lot of folks would argue you shouldn't use this in a commercial setting. I use it all the time with no complaints. The Echo is definitely something that can be used for commercial work. It's not as powerful as the gas, but there's a massive advantage there. Gas is going to generate a lot more power a lot easier than battery powered will, especially when you consider the fact that there's only a certain amount of run time that can be achieved with batteries. So there's some kind of give and take that's there. The one thing I would say that would really set the Echo apart, that I actually think would make the Echo better than the Stihl, probably in every way, and that would be to get a tube like this as opposed to something big like this. I think having a smaller tube would lower the CFM, which I'm okay with, but it would increase the miles per hour, I think, and give you a lot more power coming out of that nozzle in more of a focused, direct way. So that being said, this has been my go-to blower for the last 6 weeks. Been loving it, and plan on continuing using it. You know, when I first got into lawn care in 2016, in my personal opinion, battery-powered equipment was nowhere near ready for commercial use. And now I feel like we're here. I feel like this blower is ready to be used in commercial settings. It does take a different strategy. You have to consider power management and things like that. But I gotta say, very happy with it. And you know, I carry both blowers on the truck, and the question, that's the easiest way to tell. The last couple of days I was like, we'll see what happens. But when I got both blowers on the truck, I grabbed the Echo. So this is Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.